Good morning, fourth grade. Happy Friday. All right, let's get started. It's your last day of the week, and then you get to enjoy your weekend until we hang out again on Monday. So today is Friday, April 3rd, 2020. All right, our joke of the day is, why did the farmer plant a seed in his pond? Why did he plant a seed in his pond? And the answer is, he was trying to grow a watermelon. Get it? Watermelon pond. All right. So we are on, week 2, lesson 5. All right, and your learning targets are similar to what we've been working on this week, is solving multi-step word problems using all 4 operations, representing these word problems with tape diagrams and equations, using variables, which are letters, remember, to represent unknown, what we're trying to find out, and then checking our answers and checking the reasonableness using a bunch of different strategies, okay? So if you haven't already, go ahead and pause the video and take a few minutes to do this daily fluency. If you want, you can do, you can time yourself and give yourself a minute and a half like we normally do in class to do as much as you can, or you can just take your time and fill it out. So when you're ready, we're gonna go over it, okay? So I'm just gonna read out the answers. I'm not gonna read out the problems. So I'm going to start at the top and go down, okay? So I'm starting at 6 divided by 2, and I'm going down to 60 divided by 2. Okay, so, oh, sorry, hang on, let me turn that off. Okay, so the first one is 3. Next one is 30, 300, 3,000, 3, 30, 300, 3,000. All right, now I'm at 10 divided by 5. 2, 3, 30, 300, 500, 700, 900, 60, 600, 4, 40, 3, 300, 4, 40, 6, 600, 700, 40, 80, 800, 80. Okay? So I'll go ahead and check those. And then go ahead and go to our daily task. All right? So today it says, read each task carefully and follow the directions. Make sure you write an explanation and show your work. Okay? So, get my stuff. All right, so we are on task A first. So every year a carnival comes to Hallie's town. The price of tickets to ride the rides has gone up every year. Okay, so now I see that they gave us a table, and in the first column it says year, and then in the second column it says ticket price. All right, so in 2008 they were $2, in 2009 they were $2.50, 2010 they were $3, 2011 they were $3.50, and 2012 they were $4. All right, so now looking at question A, make sure you're marking up those problems using RDW. So in 2008, Hallie's allowance was $9 a month. How many carnival tickets could she buy with 1 month's allowance? All right, so I'm going to start by drawing a tape diagram to represent what we just learned. So in 2008, Hallie's allowance was $9 a month. Okay, so I know that altogether that month, she had $9. Okay. All right. How many carnival tickets could she buy with 1 month's allowance? Okay. Well, if I look back up at my table, I can see that in 2008, ticket prices were $2 each. All right. So I'm going to add that here. I know that each ticket costs $2. All right. Now, do I know how many tickets she could buy? No, right? That's the question they're asking me. So that's my unknown here. All right. How many tickets could she buy? So I can see that this is going to be a division problem because we have a total and we have our group size, but we're trying to find our number of groups, our number of tickets in this situation. All right, so how many carnival tickets could she buy with 1 month's allowance? All right, so I'm going to say 9 divided by 2. All right, how many times does 2 go into 9? It goes in 4 times. Right? Then I multiply 4 times 2 is 8. When I subtract, I get 1. So my quotient is 4 remainder 1. All right? But now we have to interpret that. Can we say she bought 4 remainder 1 tickets? No, right? That's not a thing. You can't buy a remainder 1 ticket. So we can say she bought 4 tickets with her 1 month's allowance, right? And this 1 is going to represent how much money she had left over. She has $1 left over. Okay, so restating that question, how many Carnival tickets could she buy with 1 month's allowance? Hallie could buy 4 tickets with 1 month's allowance. Make sure you write that in a statement because this is a word problem. Okay. Now, going to B, all right? Keep this up here. Let's see. Now, going on to part B, if her allowance had stayed the same, $9 a month, how many Carnival tickets could she buy in 2012? All right, so let's look back at our table up there that they gave us. So now her allowance stays the same. So another tape diagram for this problem. I know that she still has $9 a month, okay? But now, let's go up and look. How much does each ticket cost in 2012? Each ticket costs $4 in 2012. All right. So we still don't know how many tickets she could buy. We're still trying to find our number of groups. But our ticket prices have gone up now. So now they're $4 a piece. Okay, so that's going to change our problem. So now we're going to use division. And we're going to say, okay, 9 divided by 4, because that's how much they are. All right, and then how many times does 4 go into 9? 4 goes into 9 2 times. 2 times 4 is 8. And when I subtract, I have 1 left over. So again, how many tickets could she buy in 2012 with her allowance of $9? She could buy 2 tickets in 2012. All right, so once again, writing that in a statement, Hallie could buy 2 tickets in 2012. Okay. All right. So again, make sure you're pausing this video anytime you need to. If you're going slower, if you need to fix your work, totally fine. Okay, so now we're at part C, question C. In 2012, Hallie's allowance was $14 per month. How much did her monthly allowance increase between 2008 and 2012? Okay, so we know that in 2012, her allowance was $14. Okay, let's go back up. How much did they say her allowance was in 2008? Because to figure out how much it increased, we have to know how much it was, right? So in 2008, it said her allowance was $9, okay? So if I want to know how much it increased, how much did it go up? Okay, and there are multiple ways you could solve this. You could technically just count up, right? You could start at 9 and go up to 14, but I want to write an equation because we're in 4th grade. So I'm going to say, all right, if I want to know the difference between these two, right, how much it increased, I'm going to start with my big number, and I'm going to say $14 minus $9 equals how much her allowance increased, which is 14 minus 9 is 5. All right. So how much did her monthly allowance increase between 2008 and 2012? Her allowance increased $5. Okay. Okay. So now we're going to D. How much more did a Carnival ticket cost in 2012 than it did in 2008? All right, so I'm seeing that how much more again, right? So it wants to know between 2012 and 2008. So I'm going to write the same thing, 2012, 2008. All right, whoops. Okay, so how much more did a Carnival ticket cost in 2012 than it did in 2008? Well, in 2012, let's go back up to our table to look. Tickets cost $4. Okay. In 2008, tickets cost $2. So, if again, I want to find the difference, I see those keywords, how much more, I'm going to subtract. So I'm going to say $4 minus $2 equals $2. So how much more did a Carnival ticket cost in 2012 than it did in 2008? It costs $2 more. Okay? So now looking in part E, all right, question E says, was Hallie able to buy more Carnival tickets in 2008 or in 2012 with 1 month's allowance? Okay, so let's go back up to the problems we solved. Well, this was 2008, and this was 2012. Okay, so in 2008, we learned, or we figured out, that she could buy 4 tickets, all right? And in 2012, we figured out that she could buy 2 tickets. So, which month or which year was she able to buy more tickets? Right, she was able to buy more tickets in 2008, okay, because she could buy 4 tickets with that $9 allowance. Whereas when we went to 2012, she could only buy 2 tickets now because the ticket prices went up. All right, moving down to F. So you can write that in a complete sentence, please, for part E. I'm not going to write it on my board because I know you guys can do that. Okay, so on F, what would Hallie's allowance need to be in 2012 for her to be able to buy as many Carnival tickets as she could in 2008? All right, so let's think about that. In 2012, the ticket prices were $4, right? In 2008, she could buy 4 tickets, okay? So we need to figure out if tickets are now $4 and she wants to buy 4 tickets, what would her allowance have to be at least? What is the smallest amount her allowance could be in order to be able to buy those tickets? All right, so let's think. Tickets are $4. Okay. She needs to be able to buy at least 4 tickets. So if each one costs $4, I know that I can say $4 times 4 tickets is going to give me, $16. Okay? So Hallie's allowance would have to be at least $16 in order for her to be able to buy 4 tickets in 2012. Okay? Looking at G. What happens to your ability to buy things if prices increase and your allowance doesn't increase? All right, so think about that. We see here that Hallie's, for a while, the first few years, her allowance didn't increase. Okay, but then she was still trying to buy tickets for the Carnival, but the ticket prices were going up. So in 2008, tickets were only $2, but by 2012, they were $4 now. But she was still only getting $9 a month. All right? So what do you think that means? What happens if prices are going up, but your allowance isn't going up? So what happens if the chips or candy or whatever that you want from 7-Eleven are going up and they're more expensive, but your allowance is still the same amount of money? Okay, I want you to think about that. I want you to talk about it with someone. If your parent, brother, sister, aunt, uncle, grandma, grandpa, someone is around, I want you to talk about that because that's really important, and this really does apply to real life, right? We learned here that if the prices keep going up, but your allowance isn't going up, you're not going to be able to buy as much stuff, right? Hallie couldn't buy as many tickets in 2012 because she didn't have enough money because the prices went up, but her allowance didn't go up. Right? So the more the prices increase, your money needs to also increase. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to buy as much as you could before when they were cheaper. All right? So, write a quick, response to that. A couple sentences, 1 or 2 sentences is fine as long as they're complete sentences. And now looking at your daily closing. Oh, interesting. Write a summary, DJ summary. Write what you've learned in the form of a favorite song. Okay, so that's on you. I guess what we learned, again, what we've been focusing on a lot this week is multi-step problems, representing those problems with tape diagrams, math models, equations, using that RDW strategy over and over again, figuring out what we know, what we're trying to find out, all those things that we've been practicing all year, using the mole strategy, the mole sheets that we used in class. So, yeah, write what you learned in the form of your favorite song. As always, bonus points if you send me the song, because that's really fun and entertaining. All right, so that's all I have for today. I'll do a quick zoom in a little bit so that you can see and pause the video here if you need to, with all the problems. And that's pretty much it. I hope you guys have a really great weekend, and I will be back on Monday with starting week 3. All right, stay safe, wash your hands, get outside. See you guys later.